Boriss Cilevičs, welcome to the virtual media box. Your report is concerned about the use of artificial intelligence, really algorithms, in the field of justice. What are the things that can go wrong in your view?
Oh, there are many things as always, and in this case, even more than usually. So usually when we speak about justice, we mention such a notion as justice with a human face. But in this case, we intentionally bring a non-human into the justice system. And this, of course, creates many additional risks. The first aspect is how to take into account all issues which are taken for granted in a modern society, like human rights, non-discrimination, ethical principles. Of course, these are invented by humans, and they have nothing to do with mathematics and with computer sciences and so on. And until recently, the basic approach to AI systems was like the following. So let's make the system just out of general consideration that it works fine from the technical points of view. And then we'll try somehow at the very last moment to adjust it to human ethics and to human basic standards. This approach doesn't work. So these ethical principles must be built in design from the very beginning of the systems. And this is one of the traps which those people who have already developed and applied in practice these AI systems in justice and criminal justice have encountered. So we must draw right conclusions from the experience we already have. Another problem I would like to mention is the problem of accountability. So there is such a sort of prejudice, I would say, which presumes that the computer is something like superhuman, which is induced probably by many comics and fiction and so on. But this is not the case. The question is, who bears responsibility for the decisions taken with using AI systems? And my point is that this is a human who always bears a responsibility.
You also mentioned that one of the problems here is that the algorithms themselves are often sealed off from public scrutiny because they belong to private companies and they're considered to be part of their own internal company secrets. So they can't be investigated. That's a fear, isn't it? That means that you're handing justice over to private enterprise.
Yes, indeed. In principle, many algorithms are perceived as a sort of black box, which decides by itself. Of course, a lot has been written and suggested about, let's say, open source approach, so that algorithms are available to everybody and who can verify and so on. But I am a bit skeptical, I must say, about this approach because the public at large can hardly evaluate the professional capacity of the algorithm if some person without special education and qualification in computer programming has access to the very code of the software. It is of little help, if any. So it's what is needed is a correct algorithm of self-learning. What makes AI systems different from, as I mentioned, simple calculator or complicated software is normally this computer simply fulfills the program which is developed by a human.
Boriss Cilevičs, thank you very much indeed for taking part.